Hello and welcome back again. This is where I discuss whether the Bond Q watch should be a pass or buy based on the following four categories, which are novelty, style, quality and value for money. Now just before I go into the main topic of my video, I just want to say a couple of things. One of them being, some of my viewers might have noticed that I've tried one or two different types of videos on my channel recently. However, I'd just like to reassure everyone that don't worry, there's going to be plenty of watch content coming as the year progresses. So let's move on to the main purpose of this video, and that's where I discuss my thoughts on the original Bond Q watch that was released in conjunction with the upcoming movie No Time to Die. And the first one I want to discuss as part of our assessment of this is its novelty value. Swatch released this brilliant Q watch which Q will actually be wearing in the film, or a version at least. This watch was originally a limited edition piece with only 7,007 units being made. However, in October 2020, a Q2 was released. More on that later. Now, if you're a regular to my channel, you know that I love watches that are connected to iconic characters in pop culture. And in this particular instance, Swatch has done a brilliant thing by creating this Q watch. Of course, over the years, there have been many watches that have been associated with the main character Bond. However, this time we have here a watch that has been specifically created for the character Q, which is highly unusual and makes this watch even more extra special than it would normally be otherwise. So therefore, as a novelty piece, this watch ticks all the boxes and is going to be relevant for many years to come. The second category I'm going to look at is style. And from a style perspective, the Q watch is amazing. The laptop style inner box opens up to reveal the watch. Taking a closer look at the watch and its specifications, you'll see the watch has a 42mm stainless steel case. The brushed steel dial has no numerals but has a Q at 6 o'clock. The dial is also hollowed out in the center to reveal a quartz movement in an interesting skeleton style, with a visible red coil matching the red hour and minute hands. If you take a side view of the case, you'll notice that the watch is really thin, which I measured at around 5mm. Taking a closer look at the strap, the Q has a brown leather strap which has dyed red edges and a cream back. I have to say this watch is really stylish and goes with most outfits, whether smart or casual. I love the style. I think it's a fantastic take on the kind of watch that you see someone like Q wearing, and it's a brilliant design by Swatch. So let's move on to the third category by which I'm going to assess this watch, and this category is going to be quality. Now, let's be honest, we're not talking about fine watch quality here because, first of all, this watch has a quartz movement. Now, although the hollowed out skeleton style dial is a really nice touch and something that I really love about this watch, it's quite apparent that the metals being used here are not fine metals. Also, if you take a look at the motherboard in the skeleton style, it appears this is based off plastic. And not only is that based off plastic, some of the wheels that you can see in the inner workings of the quartz movement are also made from plastic. While this timepiece is undoubtedly well made, coming from a renowned Swiss watchmaker, Swatch, the Q not being a fine timepiece, unfortunately is not going to compare well with the likes of Omega or even indeed H. Moser, for example. So unfortunately you wouldn't expect it to do as well in this category. The final category I use to assess this watch will be, of course, value. Now, when the Q was originally released by Swatch, it released in March 20 at a retail price of £174. This watch sold out in literally minutes. Therefore, you quickly started seeing the watch appearing for resale on sites such as Watch Nation for amounts greatly in excess of its original retail price. Watch Nation at one time was selling the watch for £495 on their website. However, this didn't go unnoticed by Swatch, and they must have realized that they could have sold many more volumes of the Q timepiece than they actually did. So in October 2020, they released the Q2, which is almost exactly the same watch, apart from a few details. For example, the coil that you see in the hollow of the dial is blue instead of red, and gone are the red minute and hour hands. Instead, you've got blue hands that have replaced them. The other small difference you'll see is on the strap. The strap has a slightly different colorway to what you see in this original version. Now, I personally was quite disappointed when Swatch released the Q2 because it essentially cannibalized collectability of the original Q. And this was borne true by the fact that quite soon after, I saw the Q2 had gone from £495 to £295 very quickly. As time has passed, Watch Nation has since increased the price back to £395, but the point remains, if you're going to get this watch, you definitely need to go for the original Q watch. There is one caveat to that, and try and get that within a reasonable price between £200 and £300 at most. So in summary, I'm now going to rate the watch in terms of the 4 categories I've just discussed, each category having a mark out of 5. So in terms of novelty value, the Q watch got a total of 5 out of 5. It's always fantastic when they bring particular timepieces like this that are associated with such iconic characters in pop culture. However, to have a watch associated with Q, and specifically Q, is even more special. So for novelty value, definitely a 5 out of 5, no complaints there. In terms of style, this watch gets 4 out of 5. It's a brilliant watch to wear every day, whether you're wearing something smart or casual, and because of its understated looks, not many people apart from a watch enthusiast would really know that you're wearing a very special watch indeed. 4 out of 5 I think is a very fair score for this particular category. In terms of quality, because of its quartz movement and lack of fine materials, unfortunately we can only give this watch 2 out of 5. However, the score 2 out of 5 is no reflection on the build quality of the watch itself. Finally, in terms of value for money, again, the watch didn't score very highly here. It only got a 2 out of 5, but this perhaps could have been better had the Q2 not been brought out, which clearly this has hurt the resale values of the watch and future collectability. How much, I don't know. So at this point, I can only give it 2 out of 5. So with a total score 13 out of 20 and a percentage of 65%, as this watch has gone past 50%, it's a buy. However, with a word of caution, because clearly whether you should buy this watch depends mainly on how much you enjoy the novelty aspect of the watch, but also be mindful of what you actually pay for the watch, because if you buy the watch for more than £200 to £300, perhaps it wouldn't be probably the best value. However, this is still a brilliant novelty piece to have, and certainly a watch that will fit well in anybody's collection. I hope you've enjoyed the video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.